Welcome to Pantry Challenge Week 1. Today is Tuesday and I'm just about to get dinner started. I've had a pretty busy day, so I'm gonna make a low effort dinner today. I just got some zucchini from the garden that I harvested 2 days ago, and we're gonna cut it into some veggies. Because we're gonna make some zucchini fries, and then we're also gonna make some regular fries. And these will be done on the air fryer setting in my oven. I'm trying to keep them somewhat thin when I cut them, just so they will actually crisp up. Yesterday I made something that I call garden soup for dinner, and it tastes different every time basically because first of all I don't have recipe for it, and second of all I just use what is available to me from the garden that day. So it just varies like seasonally and depends on the actual day too. Yesterday I added some carrots, I had added onions from the garden, I added potatoes from the garden, lovage, oregano, rosemary, green onions, and of course we had some chicken in it too. And the broth was so flavorful. I think it was actually one of the best garden soups I've made so far. And then Krista and I had the rest of that garden soup for lunch today. And for breakfast this morning, I just had some scrambled eggs with some raspberries from my mother-in-law's garden and a small slice of flourless whole wheat bread with some cheese on top. So yesterday and today were kind of like low effort days when it comes to creating meals with the Pantry Challenge. But tomorrow we're gonna do a big cooking day. I'll just put some salt on top to draw some of the water out. Even though these round zucchinis have quite dense flesh, it still helps if you draw the water out just a little bit. And then we've got to pick some potatoes up. I harvested about 7 kilos the other day, and this is maybe 10 to 15% of our total potatoes. They're absolutely beautiful. I just needed the space in my garden because I had to plant my pole beans and my bush beans for fall harvest. This here was already the next day in the afternoon. I had decided that I wanted to do some sourdough bread, or at least get it started for the day after. Making sourdough is definitely a labor of love. There's so much time and effort that goes into it, but it is quite meditative once you're already at it. I used my own recipe here, the one I've been using all the time, but for some reason recently my loaves have not been come out right. Now looking back, I think I messed up with the water proportion of the dough because I think something was wrong with my scale. And I have to make sure in the future that that doesn't happen again, because I pour a lot of time into these loaves and it's very frustrating if they don't turn out right. But it is what it is at this point. It still tasted good and we still ate it. Okay friends, we are out in the garden right now because we are still missing some ingredients for dinner. It has been pretty rainy the past days, but we are just having a break in the weather today. So let's see what we can find to harvest. I know there is probably tons of things out here. Are banana peppers that turned red. I didn't even know banana peppers could do that, but apparently they can. And they are supposed to be super sweet when they're red and orange like that. We also have some yellow ones here. There's another red one. We have some Venus golden cherry tomatoes ready. Some jalapenos. Okay, next up I want to take a carrot. These are supposed to be red. What the f... Okay, that's interesting. Oh, there it is. Wow. Just look at this color. This variety is called Malbec. We have a cucumber that's ready to pick. This one is called Nikki 4. And some purple sprouting broccoli. I have some more purple sprouting broccoli here, and this one is beautiful, I have to say. And lastly, I will take some lemon thyme for dinner. And some of this beautiful purple basil. I also just filmed a super big harvest for you guys. So pretty, and I'm not even done harvesting. Okay, so here is everything we grabbed for dinner today. We got some purple sprouting broccoli, jalapenos, we got banana peppers, basil, cherry tomatoes, a cucumber, and lemon thyme. I don't know if we're gonna use all of this today, but definitely the banana peppers I want to use, and maybe the purple sprouting broccoli. We'll see what we can make with it. I don't really have a concrete plan yet. Coming in from the garden, I thoroughly washed my veggies and I roasted most of them. I used the thyme and the basil to spice up my tomato rice that I made. I had boiled brown rice earlier that day. This dinner was honestly pretty improvised. I had originally planned to make the banana peppers with some meat inside, so I was gonna stuff them and then make a little tomato sauce to cook them in. But when I was out in the garden, I honestly thought at first that I was gonna have more of the banana peppers, the red ones, but I didn't. So then I just ended up roasting all the veggies that I harvested that day except the jalapenos in our oven, and they turned out so good. I just drizzled some olive oil under and put up some spices, and it was such an easy, effortless dinner. And then on the side I made the tomato rice that I've mentioned earlier. Tomato rice is something very nostalgic to me because my grandma used to make that for me as a kid. Normally it doesn't have any meat inside, but because I had thawed my meat already, because I originally wanted to make the stuffed peppers, I didn't really want it to go to waste since you can't keep it when it has been thawed. And so I just sauteed it with some onions and some garlic, and I added the herbs, the lemon thyme and the basil from the garden, and then you just add some past tomatoes, you spice it with salt and pepper, and then you add your cooked rice at the end. I use brown rice here because it's a little bit more healthy. This was so good, but unfortunately I do not have a concrete recipe of how many of the past tomatoes I added or how many spices I have added. I will try to type it up for you guys though. I think overall I could have added maybe a little bit less of the past tomatoes because I like it when the tomato rice is a bit more on the drier side rather than so saucy, but still it ended up being so incredibly delicious. And Cristo, it was the first time for him to taste the tomato rice and he really liked it too. Sometimes dinners are improvised and that is the beauty of it, in my opinion. You just use what you have on hand that day and it doesn't always have to go according to plan. Speaking of not going according to plan, the next day when I was about to bake my sourdough loaf, because I had put it in the Benetton overnight, I saw that everything was so runny. You can see here how it even stuck to the textile portion of my Benetton. So what I ended up doing, I was trying to make it into a loaf first, but it just wouldn't work. It was so sticky. No matter what I did, I couldn't add like too much flour because then it would turn out super dry as well. So what I ended up doing is I tried to make them into little baguettes so we could enjoy them as some baguettes. So just like sandwich breads. And they actually didn't turn out terrible. They were still pretty dense, to be honest. They were denser than they looked. But I think it was still the right call to put them into little baguettes, because if I would have tried to bake that as a loaf, it just would have been ending up as a flat plate, I think. So I'll be sure to double check my water proportion and hopefully it's better luck next time. Happy Sunday, friends. It's finally Sunday. I have to say this week was kind of hectic, so I didn't get to film as much and show you what we ate. in the first week of Pantry Challenge as much as I wanted to. But since today's Sunday, I have some time on my hands this afternoon. So we're gonna do a bunch of things right now. I just came inside from the garden. Let me show you what I got from the garden today. I actually sowed some beans and peas out for my fall garden. And I pulled one potato plant up, 1.5 potatoes. I think it was like one potato plant, and then I took one of these like big potatoes from another plant accidentally that was like next to the one that I pulled up. But don't they look great? These are the Jazzy variety, and these were potatoes I got from the grocery store, and I just planted the potatoes, and look how much we got, how many potatoes we got from one plant. And then I also found some cucumbers. I only have snack variety cucumbers in my garden this year. And I have some more cucumbers in the fridge, so I think we're gonna do some pickles today. I did some pickles in slices the other week, and I got 3 jars from that, but we eat pickles so often. We love to snack on them, we love to put them next to like a charcuterie board, and during the holidays we always serve pickles like on the table as well. So I definitely have to stock up, because I did run out of my pickles, I think in January or something. A long time ago anyway, so we have to stock up more this year. And because we have so many cucumbers at the moment, I think we can do some pickles and cucumber salad tonight. And then we have to prep dinner as well, and I know for a fact that I have zucchini that I have to use up in the garden. I didn't harvest it yet, but I thought that we could make some zucchini blueberry muffins, because I also have blueberries from the forest in my fridge, and they need to be used up. So I think what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna quickly run out into the garden, get the zucchinis, make those muffins, then do the pickles. We can grab like the herbs and stuff we need for the pickles as well from the garden, and then we're gonna take care of dinner. But yeah, enough talking. Let's go into the garden and get the zucchini. Let me actually grab a bowl, because we need to get the pickling things too. We need like dill flowers and some other herbs. Okay, I just gotta show you this ant problem in my greenhouse. It's getting out of control. I don't know what to do. We have to, I think, take the planters out and manually remove them, because I don't want to use like any pesticide spray or this salt or anything. But look what is happening here. Do you see that? This is insanity. The ants are everywhere. Fuck's sake. And there, you can't, like, it's not enjoyable to go in there. We really don't know what to do. People have said, like, give them a home. You know, we have a bunch of space in the back where they would not bother anybody. They can build their stuff there. There are even ants at the composters. But we have so many ant colonies in this garden that we can't all give them a home, because it's not normal. It's not normal how many ants we have in this garden. They're overtaking everything, and I am at my wits' ends of what to do about them, because it's not enjoyable to garden when so many of them are around. They will crawl on you, they will bite you. We have gotten bitten so many times by them, even when we just stood in a place where they are. They are very territorial, so if any one of you have any other recommendations, then please let me know. I'm really trying not to let it ruin my mood, but it's kind of hard. Just because it's become such a big problem in the garden. So yeah, I don't know what to do. But anyway, we've got to get those pickles done. By the way, there is another ant's nest in my cranberries right here. You can see. But the yellow ants are not so bothersome like the black ants. The yellow ants really like keep more to themselves, and they will make little hills, but they won't really bite you that much. So I don't mind the yellow ants, but the black ants, that's a whole different story. But let's get the zucchinis and my pickling ingredients. I think we have several here. I'll take this. Ugh, it's mushy, the flower. I'll take this big one. Or it's not that big, but it's big for this type of zucchini. One. I think there's one more on the other side because I have 2 plants in here. These pumpkins are so funny. They're getting out of control, but I really don't mind it that much. It's really down there. That we don't have any more right now, which is good. By the way, those ants are attacking a caterpillar. They're eating it alive. I don't know what the hell is like going on here, but yeah. Then we have more over there. What?
Get an anteater.
Yeah, we should get an anteater. Yeah, it's not a bad idea, honestly. And my pumpkins, I don't know what damage this is. It has been kind of like raining a lot lately, so I don't know if it's from that or it's something else. I have to research what that is. By the way, we have more purple sprouting broccoli out here, but I'm not gonna harvest that today. There's a lot though. And I just saw, where is it now? I just saw that we are getting our first beans of these pole beans. These are sunset runner beans. And a lot of them have dropped like the flowers completely. And we haven't gotten any beans so far from there. But now we're starting to get beans. You can see this is where the bean comes from. Like it drops the lower part and then there's a bean in there, this pin. And that will like grow into a bean pod. And usually beans are like self-pollinating and very easily like pollinated. But I've been reading in like this Facebook group that I'm in also that a lot of people have problems with their beans this year. Like the pole beans specifically are not producing beans. So I don't know if that's like an issue with the heat and with the moisture fluctuations. It depends on the variety because these are also sunset runner beans right there. And they have also not produced beans yet. I think they're just like now starting to after we've gotten all the rain. But then we have the beans over there on that arch, which is the Blauhilde variety, also a pole bean. But those are producing beans already. I haven't observed that they had the same problem like these two, that they will drop the whole flowers. So we'll see. But for now we can take some parsley from here. For pickling it doesn't matter, it can be very strong tasting. It's even better if it is. I know that I have some dill flowers over here. Oh, and look, my cosmos just opened. So pretty. This is the seashell variety. We have tons of like toads in the garden and they... What did you put there, Crystal? Did you put beer there? I think it might actually work. Okay, so Crystal just put a glass jar here with some beer inside and they seem to go in there and like drown. I don't know if this will work, but at this point I'm willing to try almost everything. But let's harvest some of these beautiful dill flowers. They're so big already. They're taller than me. Granted, they're in a raised bed, but still, they're pretty tall. Need some dill too. I've just sowed more dill out the other day from seeds they had saved from last year. Oh, a ladybug! Ladybugs love to be on dill. So if you want to attract ladybugs into your garden, you should plant some dill and cilantro. They also love cilantro. I have more dill flowers over here where we can harvest from. I always want to leave some for the pollinators because they enjoy them. Oh, and I want to take some bay leaves from my little plant here. Look how great it's doing. Also for the pickling. I'll take the lower leaves. I love these. And then maybe just a sprig or two of lovage, because this one is extremely intense. And I think that's it for now. I don't think we need much more. Let's go in and make the pickles. Before we begin though, I just want to measure these potatoes. Like I want to weigh them and I want to see how much we have gotten so I can add it up to the total amount of what we've gotten from the garden this year. Because we are going to harvest our potatoes, like the main crop, very soon. Probably next week. And I just want to know how much I've gotten from my main crop of potatoes this year. Because I've already harvested a couple of plants, just like 4 or 5 plants maybe, because I needed a space in that bed to grow my beans and my peas for the fall garden. So I will add that amount to the amount we're gonna harvest next week, just because I really want to like keep track of how much we're getting of our main crop. Last year we got around 35 kilos from our main crop, and then maybe 2-3 kilos more in the fall. And this year also we'll have a fall harvest of potatoes, but probably more than last year because I planted more for my fall garden. This one is so big too. I love it. I don't know if I've said it, but this is the Righty Jazzy. And they're like hard cooking potatoes, so they're perfect for roasting. Also potato salad. 1050 grams, which is over a kilo from 1.5 potato plants. 1050. And these are great looking potatoes. Some of them are a bit small, but they are perfect for like roasting, fingerling potatoes, parsley butter potatoes, whatever. And then the big ones you can make into fries and freeze them or make potato salad with them. That's perfect. I will put them, however, right now to this harvest basket where I keep my other crop of potatoes that I just recently harvested. We are building out our cellar very soon. So then we will store our potatoes down there. But for now, this will have to do. Let's get the other cucumbers I have in my fridge still. I don't know, I don't think this one is good for preserving because something has like nibbled on it. It's still fine to eat, we're still gonna eat it, but I'm not gonna preserve it. But we have these other ones here that are totally fine. These ones are from my mother-in-law's garden. This one is a typical pickling cucumber. These ones are salad cucumbers, but you can still pickle these. This recipe I'm using has been passed down in our family for generations, so I know that we have always used it, and for us it has always been safe. So this is what I'm going to use today. Canning is always at your own risk, so please only use recipes you know are safe. I prefer pickled salad cucumbers over pickling cucumbers. And I'll let this cucumber salad be right now. We'll take care of it later. One seems to be enough for what we're doing with it, because we are making zucchini blueberry muffins. And this right here is 333 grams. I have the scale underneath. Of course, it's gonna lose some water still. You can actually see it's like dripping. But I still think one is enough for this. We can keep the other one for a dinner next week. And I'll just salt these lightly, massage them so they can release more water. And we're gonna let these drain the water here for about 10 to 15 minutes. Usually these have super dense flesh and don't release a ton of water, but because it rained so much, I think they're just full of water right now. Okay, my jars have now cooled down, and I will start by stacking the ingredients in there. I'll first put my onions, then 1 whole clove of garlic cut in half, 2 bay leaves, 1 sprig of lovage, 2 to 3 dill flowers, and some dill, of course, and lastly some parsley, and then our cucumbers. If I see that they're too tall, I'll just cut the end off a little, because they shouldn't like touch the top. Then we need 1.5 teaspoons of mustard seeds, and I will always use 1 to 2 corns of this allspice. And our jar is done. We just need to add the pickle juice, which we're gonna do in just a sec, but in the meanwhile I will finish these other 2 glasses. Okay, so I've just checked in my recipe book, and for the brine we need apple cider vinegar, water, sugar, salt, pepper. I'm using black pepper ground. Give it a good stir, and then we're gonna heat this up. We just heat it up until there's steam coming off. Just wipe the rims with some vinegar before putting on our clean sterilized lids. And we are gonna water bath candies. I'm prepping this pot right now for water bath canning my pickles. I don't have a metal separator that you put in the bottom, so the jars are not on the actual pot bottom, but you can use just a dish towel. It has to be 100% cotton though, because you are gonna boil it at 90 to 100 degrees. So make sure it's 100% cotton and put it in before you fill your stock pot. And I like to double layer mine, so just fold it in half. In it goes. I put my jars in. Make sure they're closed correct, but not too tight so the air can escape after you take them out. I'm gonna put my lid on just to save some energy and make it boil quicker. And I will put my thermometer in so I can check the water temperature. While my pickles were water bath canning, I took the liquid off that had drained from my zucchinis. Look how much there was. This little jar holds about 300 milliliters, so I think it was like half that. And I saw Louise from Louise's Kitchen Garden drink her zucchini juice, and I thought, why not try that? It honestly wasn't as awful as I expected it to be. Maybe a little salty from the salt I had added, but not awful. And these zucchini blueberry muffins, I'm just improvising the recipe here. I'm using my banana bread recipe as a base recipe and trying to exchange the bananas with the zucchini that I grated. We will see how this goes. So because I am editing here from the future, I can tell you right now that these muffins turned out so good. I did type up the recipe and I will share that with you guys pretty soon. They are so juicy and moist because of the zucchini, and it's a great way to use up all those extra zucchinis you have from the garden, or courgettes, however you want to call them. But trust me, this is so good. Your whole family will end up asking for these over and over again. So while I was prepping the batter for my zucchini muffins, my pickles had also finished canning and I had taken them out. While I was prepping everything, I really kept an eye on the water temperature. That's why I had the thermometer in the pot as well, because you want to make sure that you're following certain rules when canning, so all of your products are actually food safe, because canning is not something you get to be very creative with. So please make sure to use approved recipes or recipes you know for a fact are safe. And here I'm showing you how the lid is sucked in the middle, so I know this jar has sealed, and I will talk about that in just a second. You can see on the left it's not sucked in yet. Okay, Krista and I just did a movie break, and while we did the movie break, the muffins had some time to cool down. Krista already ate 3 of them. I tried like a quarter of one of his muffins and they are really, really good. I will type up this recipe. I will transfer them to my container to store them so we can have them tomorrow morning for breakfast and the days after, of course. And while we were watching the movie, we also heard that my pickles sealed. You heard the sound, and that is a very beautiful sound because that means your seal is complete. I will just, these are still lukewarm right now when I touch them, but you can also see from the lid here that they've sealed. It doesn't make a noise when I touch here. Usually it would make a click, click, click noise. And also you can see that it's sucked in because of the vacuum. This is why they make the noise when they seal. So I'm really happy that all of them sealed perfectly, and we can put them to our storage area above the fridge right now. I have my jams here that I made this summer and the pickles I made last time, until we have our cellar ready, and then we can put them into the cellar later on. And it's also 7 in the evening now, so I am gonna start dinner now. I decided against making an actual cucumber salad. I will put, these are the cucumbers we like chopped up earlier, and there are some herbs in here. I grated a little bit of garlic in here, and I'm gonna add some cream cheese and some spices. And then we're gonna use this as like a dip because I will also boil some potatoes. These are chicken thighs. This chicken marinade was also very much improvised. I just used some sour cream, some curry sauce, and a bunch of spices like salt, pepper, and some ground dried lovage, also some onions, and I think a little bit of garlic too. But it ended up tasting so good. We even used the marinade as a sauce next to our potatoes, essentially. Sometimes the best things are improvised and not planned at all. I love improvising in the kitchen. Like I said, with canning, you can't really improvise. You have to be very strict. You have to follow a strict rule book when canning. But when you're cooking, you can improvise. And this dinner, as much as the marinade, was also very improvised, but it was such an easy way to use up everything we needed to use up and everything we wanted to use up that day. So like I said, we had some boiled salted potatoes. We had the cucumber dip, which was so delicious. I ended up using some skyr instead of cream cheese, and then we had the marinated chicken, which we also used to sauce next to the potatoes. This was so good. Being able to improvise in the kitchen is such a game changer. You will never have a boring day of food ever again. And to me, improvisation, not following a plan, sometimes is even very beautiful because you find new ways to use your produce, to use your things in the kitchen. And it's such a fun and creative way to express yourself as well. Today is already Wednesday of Pantry Challenge week 2, and I am about to go to the forest. We are gonna forage some blueberries and hopefully some mushrooms too with my mother-in-law. And of course I will take you along with me so you can see some of Estonia's most beautiful nature. But with that being said, I will close this vlog here. You're gonna see that footage in Pantry Challenge week 2. So be sure to come back or stick around to this channel if you like this type of content. It's gonna be very like cozy, calm, tranquil foraging session, I hope. If you've made it this far, then thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate every single one of you. If you like content like this, then please consider subscribing. I would highly appreciate that. And if you want to support my channel, you can do so by liking, hyping, and commenting on this video. That's always such a big help. But if you're just along for the ride and you just want to watch my videos to have a calm, peaceful moment, that's totally fine too. I love to have you here. Never forget, you are worthy, you are loved. I hope you have the most amazing day, and I hope to see you back on my channel next time. Bye!